There we go. Can didn't want to open quite right, but anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Weird Wild World of Wheeler. I got a little treat for y'all today. This is another episode of Exploring Kisatchie. Right down the road from the front gate of my hunting lease, which is kind of wild. I didn't even know. I've been in that lease for like 7-8 years now. Just found out not long back that this is here. I've seen the sign before, but I thought this was another way to get to that cemetery that's the Owen Bolton Cemetery. Turns out it isn't. My buddy ended up finding this, and it's really, really cool, and told me about it, and I figured I'd make a video about it. I got here a little early. I'm gonna make the evening hunt. It's the last weekend of hunting season. Take a little hit of beer. So yeah, it's the last weekend that I can hunt, and I figured I'd come, make a little evening hunt, make a morning hunt, and then head back. But since I'm a little early, I'm gonna check this out. This, right through this little trail right here that we're gonna follow, I'm gonna show you on the camera, is the grave site of the guy who killed the last buffalo in Louisiana. And he's buried where he killed that buffalo, where he was standing when he shot. And I'll show y'all why when we get over there. So let's go check it out. So yeah, where the sign is, there's a little trail, you can kind of tell, that leads on up to it. And it ain't far off the road. You walk up this little trail on top of this little hill, and then you can see that ironwork right there and those stones. It's the grave site. There's the marker right there. This is memory of L.C. Kirby. They said, my buddy told me there used to be a plaque apparently too, but it's not here anymore. But all the info about this is online, and I'm gonna talk about it and tell the story here in a second. So I got me some notes so I can properly do the telling of this story. So, you know, it's hard to imagine that there was herds of buffalo that once grazed the forests and pastures of western Louisiana, and like this area that's now, you know, Kisatchie National Park. But in the early 1800s and mid 1800s, there were. They would come from the Texas side, like the plains, and they would migrate into here and then back into Texas, and it was a regular thing. And L.C. Curbey, which his last name is spelled C-U-R-B-E-Y, he was one of the first homesteaders to this area, and he would stand on this spot, and this was one of his buffalo spots, and he'd kill a buffalo and he'd feed his family for the winter. And he did that, from what I understand from reading online. That was his thing. Like, every winter he'd kill a buffalo for his family, you know, and that meat would go a long way. And he shot the last one in the early 1870s, and I'm sure at the time he didn't realize it was the last one. You know, he just stopped seeing them. And at that time, if you know, kind of look into the history of it, that's when the heavy buffalo hunting was happening in other parts of the U.S. and in Texas, and there's a bunch of politics that go along with that, and a bunch of other things, and we won't get into all that, but you know, pretty much everybody knows kind of what happened. And he stopped seeing them, and that he realized that he shot the last buffalo in Louisiana right here. And he had so much respect for the animal that when he died in 1897, he wanted to be buried on the spot that he knew he shot the last buffalo. So his family buried him here. Over time, some of his family put this iron, but this was the spot. So I'm gonna show y'all kind of right now. You can tell where he shot at. So as you can see, I'm standing right on the side of the grave, and there's like a little ravine that kind of runs right there, or it's not so much a creek, but it's kind of like a bottom, and it follows along there and over there. And if all this yopine wasn't right here, you'd be able to see down into there. And that's what it was, is the buffalo would follow this. It's from what I read online. And that guy, he would stand right here and he'd shoot one every winter, and he'd feed his family until he finally shot one and he didn't see no more anymore. But yeah, there was a herd of buffalo that would come through here. So yeah, as you can see from that video, you know, there's that bottom right there, and somewhere in that bottom is where that last buffalo dropped at that he killed, you know. And I'm sure he used every bit of it, kind of like the Indians almost, because you don't waste food, especially back then in the pioneer days. But this part of Kisatchie is considered a Peasant Ridge, or Peason Ridge. That's how it's really pronounced, I guess. It's kind of weird. I've been hunting this area for years and years and years. I've heard it, but I've never called it that myself. But you have the different parts of Kisatchie, and that's what this part is considered. My buddy said there used to be a plaque here, but yeah, it's not here no more. It'd be kind of neat for them to put another plaque, like telling the story. But this is neat. This is neat. This is the kind of stuff you kind of stumble upon, and it's just wild because I've been, like I said, a long time and didn't realize this was here. And I'm glad I came check it out, and it'd be neat to show other people, and it's neat that I'm showing y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy the video. If y'all do, hit that like, hit that subscribe. We're at 932 subscriptions right now. I'd like to get to that 1,000 mark in 2025. So y'all could be some of those that help me. So please do. Yeah, it's a beautiful day out here today. It's a shame it's the last week in the hunt season as far as deer, but yeah, it is what it is. So until next time, I hope y'all are having a good weekend, and hope everything's going well for y'all, and I hope y'all stay warm with that cold weather that's coming. So yeah, until next time, peace.